I got the first text around 6 in the evening. It was casual, almost careless. Dinner with Mr. L tonight. Don't wait up. I stared at it, my stomach tightening as if I'd swallowed a stone. My first thought was disbelief. Mr. L was her married boss, known for being charming but reckless. Why would she agree to dinner? My second thought, sharper, colder, maybe it wasn't innocent. I tried to shake it off, told myself I was overreacting. Maybe it was a work thing, a client meeting. I convinced myself of that twice before, even when the signs whispered otherwise. But as she slipped out in her heels, hair perfect, perfume faint but unmistakable, the knot in my chest tightened. The call started the next day. A missed call here, a late reply there. Her phone always just out of reach, the screen lighting up with names I didn't recognize. "It's nothing," she'd say, voice clipped, a shadow crossing her eyes that I couldn't place. At first, I blamed myself. Had I been distant, too tired, too wrapped up in work? But doubt is a slow poison, and soon I wasn't questioning myself anymore. I was questioning her. I started noticing the little things. How her laughter sometimes faltered when she picked up her phone. How she'd step into the kitchen, pretend to fix a glass of water, and suddenly frown at a screen I wasn't meant to see. How dinners she claimed were late office hours always ended with her smelling faintly of cologne that wasn't mine. I told myself not to jump to conclusions. I tried asking once, gently, "Did anything happen last night with Mr. L?" She laughed, a little too bright, and shook her head. "Just work stuff, really." I nodded, forced a smile, but I stopped asking questions after that. There was something in her eyes, a flicker of guilt, maybe shame, maybe excitement, that made me think I didn't want to know the answer if it wasn't the one I wanted. The discovery was accidental. I hadn't meant to, but phones betray even the most careful. One evening, her phone buzzed across the table while she was in the shower. Curiosity, stupid and sharp, got the better of me. The screen lit up with a message from Mr. L. "I had a wonderful time tonight. Can't stop thinking about it." My hands went cold, and for a moment, the world seemed to tilt. It wasn't just one message. It was a string of texts over weeks, little breadcrumbs of secret dinners, flirty jokes, and private confessions. I read them, each word cutting deep in the last, each image of them laughing together a punch I didn't see coming. The love I thought was mutual suddenly felt like a fragile illusion. Memories, our anniversary dinner, quiet nights on the couch, her hand brushing mine, stung like lies. I wondered how many of those moments had been real, and how many had been rehearsed for my comfort. When she finally saw me holding the phone, her face went pale, and I could read the story in her eyes before she said a word. Regret, fear, but not remorse enough to stop. It didn't mean anything," she stammered. But the words felt hollow, rehearsed. It was just, I don't know, something I shouldn't have done. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I felt the numbness first, a blank, cold certainty that some lines once crossed can't be uncrossed. I left the phone on the table and walked out, the hallway echoing with my footsteps and the life we had built, now shattered. Days passed in silence. The absence of trust was heavier than the betrayal itself. I replayed everything. The laughter, the late-night whispers, the tiny gestures that once felt intimate, now sharp reminders of love I couldn't claim anymore. I realized love isn't enough when honesty doesn't exist. I found strength in the quiet aftermath. I started reclaiming pieces of myself I hadn't noticed were gone. Mornings without fear, evenings without suspicion, decisions made for me and me alone. One night, I drove past a restaurant where it all began, watching the neon sign flicker in the rain, and for the first time, I felt something I hadn't in months, closure. It wasn't the ending I wanted, but it was mine. I learned that love can hurt, but it doesn't have to destroy you. Betrayal is cruel, but survival, quiet and patient, is stronger. And sometimes, the most powerful act of love is letting go, letting someone else keep their secrets while you keep your dignity. I didn't look back. I walked forward, step by step, carrying the scars but also the lesson: trust wisely, love fully, and never settle for a story that isn't entirely true.